Good evening. Welcome to the Protective Service Committee meeting. Tonight is November 12, 2025. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislator Birmingham, would you lead us, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Legislator Adenizio. Legislator Birmingham.
Here.
Chairman Yonke.
Here. Item number 3 on the agenda is an overview. We have shared projects. We have a project that both the Department of Social Services works with the Sheriff's Department. And we were asked just for an update, and if we could have representatives from both departments. Please. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Where's everybody?
It's post-election.
We didn't think you were coming. That's right.
I think you're still.
We don't bring in the crowds we used to.
I know we know that Sheriff Hess is. It's been a couple of months of just a lot going on, and we just want to make sure going forward everything's on the same page. And I spoke with our commissioner here, so I'll let Commissioner Servideo speak first, and for just where we're at, what the plan is moving forward. If you have any requests, we want to stay out of detail of procedure. Okay, anything regarding public safety, we can go into executive session if we get into that kind of detail.
Please.
So I think that the co-responder team is working on a grant extension for about 6 months. So I'm assuming that things will be moving in the same direction as they have been until at least that grant is over. That's a conversation that we'll have over the next few months. But we still have the mental health worker is still partnered up with the sheriff deputy at this point.
Okay. So it's a program that's been in existence for how long?
We've about 2 years. So last year, the co-responder team had about 1,200 unduplicated engagements. So including follow-up engagements with people, it's about 2,000. So they do have a lot of interaction with people in crisis in the community.
That's significant. Now, I know it's only been a couple of months. Nobody's holding it.
No, that's okay. I do want to review everything the Sheriff's Office is doing, of course. I've started that process. Just some things, I think the co-responding team is very important. It is an unfunded mandate for the Sheriff's Office. The deputy is not reimbursed. So that's a guy out of patrol that I'm losing. That might be worth it. I need to look at this as a whole to see where the value is. Besides that, I know they do a great work. They do a great job. I know they love having the mental health worker in the Sheriff's Office. But I do need to look at it. I have it, and I haven't yet.
So I just expect that there'll be some communication between the two departments going forward. And,
Of course.
I don't know if this requires a weekly meeting or.
I say give me some time to get to it, and then I can come back and report at the next protective. I think that'll give me enough time, whatever you think is necessary.
Yeah, we want to give you the benefit of the doubt, considering what you've been through.
Well, it's a very limited patrol pool, right? Road patrol is 34 deputies. We're down 3. This takes another deputy away from road patrol. So I just have to weigh all these things out with overtime, because having less deputies means more overtime on the road. So.
How many, is it one shift?
I believe they work day tours, correct? Monday through Friday.
Okay. It sounds like they're interacting with a significant amount of.
Correct, yeah.
Of people.
No, I'm not saying the value's not there. I just have to make those decisions, right? Because we never got an extra deputy for this
Right.
position. So that deputy is being taken away from
That
somebody
may be
else.
something in the future that you're gonna have to come back to
Correct,
the legislature to address.
Correct, yes.
So I think that that's an important part of just public safety and dealing with what we deal with in 2025.
Wouldn't disagree with you.
I don't want to cut you guys short. Is there anything that you'd like to express or, okay? Legislator Birmingham.
Yeah, just to echo, pardon me, what Paul was saying, to the extent more resources financially might be needed, if there is not a dedicated deputy to this, and there's either overtime or, God forbid, a ship going empty,
I think the overtime is reimbursed for that deputy, and maybe Sarah could correct me. Like I said, I'm very minimal, I just kind of got it overview today because I knew this was coming. I think his overtime is reimbursed, which is nice. It's just that backfill, I'd have to kind of see if we could work that into the grant. I don't know if that's applicable, whoever's backfilling his normal patrol spot. And maybe that's something we could speak of, because that would help, right? It's just,
grants are awesome, we love to get them,
Right.
and they certainly help relieve the burden on the taxpayers, but with positions like this in both of your departments, perhaps some local tax dollars would be well worth spending. My point being, don't be shy, even, at least from 1 out of 9, don't be shy to ask for more resources for something like this, or even, you say it's during the day shift, I imagine these things don't stop, before 9 and stop at
24/7,
Yeah, so,
right.
Again, just 1 out of 9, I'd be interested.
I think it is a great resource having the mental health worker there. I just got to make sure the value is there. And that's something I'm going to work on my side.
But if the value's not there from your own budget, don't be shy about it.
Understood.
Again, just speaking
Yep.
for myself, thanks.
Yeah. Legislator Sage.
So, what are you currently doing, and isn't there somebody there now?
There is.
Okay, and that person will be pulled from this, is that what you're saying?
So that person was pulled originally to go to this out of patrol. And so yes, that would be returning him to his normal duties. There was never an extra budget line added for this deputy.
Okay. And through the chair, if I could ask Commissioner Servideo, the impact of this particular program. I mean, it's to help people who are in mental crisis instead of, maybe you could discuss some of the impact of this
I think
program.
that one of the benefits is that it is, the co-responder team are going on calls that maybe a road patrol sector car would be going to. So instead of them going, the co-responder team is the first response to the incident. So oftentimes the CRT is called by officers in the field from not only the sheriff's office, but from all of our local police agencies as well.
And I know the bike path is in the news a lot lately, and I know that we have some mental health issues on the bike path. Wouldn't that be something that would be beneficial for a resource for an officer? I mean, I would just hate to see it be pulled, because I feel like it's been working so well. And it's an important, I think mental health is important in law enforcement. Especially for our entire community. You see it every day. I've seen it in my,
I think that for us on the mental health side, it is intensifying the acuity and the severity of calls and cases. And we're seeing that obviously across the country. It's not just in Putnam. But a lot of time and effort has gone into prevention and identifying people, which leads to our ability to do better follow-up. So,
and just one more question. I know Legislator Yonke and myself, and we went to look at the Axon training equipment. It was the virtual training, and I did look at several calls regarding, some schizophrenic, somebody with autism, those are potential calls that the road patrol gets pulled on, or not road patrol, but your deputies would get pulled on. And that's something that would be beneficial to have a TAM team respond to, is that correct?
The CRT, the
The
co-respondent team?
CRT,
Yes.
CRT, right.
Yeah, and those are exactly the calls that they are going out on.
Yeah, it's safety for the family is calling, it could be a family,
Yeah.
and safety for the individual and for the deputies that are there. I think it's really important, I hope that something can be worked out to continue, and I think it's a great program, and I would hate to see it fall by the wayside, so I think it's important.
Legislator Elmer.
Thank you, Chairman. Welcome, Sheriff, Commissioner. I used to think that this program was important. Now I've come to absolutely believe this program is critical. And you said that you're down a few deputies. Is that because you're short-staffed?
There's vacancies that we're looking to fill. There's 2 people in the pipeline to go to the next academy in January, and then there's also a new vacancy from someone who just left to go work for DHS.
Okay.
So we're actively trying to
So
fill those spots.
you're stretched because you don't have your full complement of personnel at this time?
And I think that's a constant, right? We're always having,
Yeah.
retention issues, so, and like I said, I agree with you. I also think it's a great program, but I just wish they would have funded it from the beginning to pay for the deputy, because I know they pay for the mental health worker through the grant. The deputy's kind of coming out of
You see, that's where...
our budget.
Sheriff, what I was trying to find out is, it sounds to me like you need to fill the vacancies and additional funds need to be for another deputy. What I'm saying is whatever is necessary to continue this program, I'm in favor of. And I see our Director of Personnel here, and he knows that I like to be a tight wallet, but I'm sorry, if we need to have additional personnel to make this happen, this is something that is really critical, because God forbid, if we don't have this at the appropriate time, someone could lose their life. So this is something that, again, I'm only one of 9. I'm 100% inclined to do what is ever necessary, not to just keep this, but make this program excel.
And the initial grant application did not allow for the deputy salary to fall under the grant, which is why.
Right, so if we have to fund it, if it has to be funded through the Sheriff's Department by additional funds, additional personnel, combination thereof, I would definitely be in favor of that.
And Sheriff,
Sir?
it doesn't have to be done immediately, but at some point, if you could do a little bit of a deep dive financially and just determine what the fiscal impact is of whether you're backfilling a position, overtime, whatever the cost is, maybe.
The cost of overtime compared to the cost of a new deputy, I'm guessing, do that kind of cost analysis?
Whatever the time on the road, for that body to be on, off of road patrol and in this program, if you could give us an estimate, I think that help. It's hard to say no to spending money on public safety like this. It's from our side of it. And whether it's this legislature or the future legislature, I think it's going to be hard for somebody to say no to protecting, the lives of our citizens. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, it doesn't have to be done by the end of this year, but at some point, I think that has to be thrown in the mix. Do some number crunching. How much is it going to cost your department to work with ESS to make sure that this program moves forward, so that it's not lost. And I know you've got a million other things to worry about.
We could that's not a problem, and I think that's a very good value to have, so I know what the cost is, so we could work on that for you.
That's fair enough?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. One other question. Aside from funding, are there any other issues that need to be addressed to continue the success of this program?
I don't think so. Like I said, I haven't really done a deep dive into it because I haven't really gotten to the CRT section of patrol yet. As far as I know, my concern was just we're going to have to fund it. So I just got to find a funding source to continue it.
Well, I think that's us.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing how this progresses. Thank you.
I think I'm staying, right?
I just have to give you
Only if you want,
something
only if
quick,
you want some more
though,
money.
on the domestic violence grant.
I'm sorry, Sarah?
We just have to give a quick update on the domestic violence grant, too.
Okay.
So this is the $564,000 crisis intervention programming grant that was awarded Q2 of 2025. For the purposes of creating a lap line for Putnam County, for the purposes of attorney stipends for ERPO filing, it allows for overtime for the co-responder clinician to respond to domestic violence calls. She does not get overtime, so this allows for a small pot of money for that. It also, the original application also allows for a significant amount of money for the sheriff's office to increase the staffing for ERPO on the ERPO cases, so the amount of officers and who's going on on ERPO calls to execute the ERPO, and also for training and backfill. So I think that it would probably be best if my office just oversees the parts of it, obviously, that have to do with me, and Sheriff Hess can handle his side of the grant. Right now, it's falling under one person, and I don't know that it should.
Just a quick question, if I could. Paul, I'm just back only almost a year. Can you tell me the acronym ERPO, what that stands for?
It's an Extreme Risk Protective Order.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to know.
Yeah. This was applied for in 2024, so there was a delayed award announcement.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments about that?
So we will be probably an audit to establish the some budget lines. We have to work with Commissioner Carlin, obviously, on that. And then the Sheriff's Office will have to do that for their part of the grant. But nothing's been set up yet, so we need to get that all established.
Okay. All right. No
Okay.
questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff, you stay right there.
Yes, sir.
Item number 4 is the approval. It's a budgetary amendment to utilize seized asset funds to purchase personnel transport van.
Yes, sir. So this was, we were looking to take money out of our federal seized asset account, which I think is, approximately $1 million, to purchase this passenger van to assist transporting personnel back and forth to different details, the SRT team. Because what I've noticed, and this happened in Patterson at our last event, is we bringing 40 cars to an event because there's 40 guys there. And we're having way too many. We really should start consolidating our transportation. And, if we could all go into the same place, there's no reason that we'd all have to take 20 cars. Most patrol cars have a cage in the back, so they limit it to 1 or 2 guys because of the computer. It's very difficult to move personnel around. So we're hoping to use some of this federal seized asset money to move our personnel, and I think we'd also use it into jail and just kind of corrections, patrol, whoever needs it, to get people back and forth.
How many passengers does this?
I think it's a 12-passenger van.
Any questions? Committee? Legislator Elmer?
Yeah, I'm good. If I may direct this to Commissioner Carlin. First, I'm saying, you say you need a vehicle, you need a vehicle. I'm just looking at a mechanism. Can seized asset funds be used towards the equity lease program that the county has? So what I'm saying, as opposed to $100,000 for direct purchase, then it'll be a lot less money, and they will get their new vehicle exactly as they want it on the lease program. I see council saying yes. I was going to.
Probably, but I don't believe this is a vehicle that is for leasing. Is it? I thought this was a specialized vehicle.
No, it's a regular passenger vehicle. It's upfitted for, police use. If we could do it, I think the money issue might be a little more difficult, because I know we cut a check to the county for whatever we use for the federal seized assets.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you'd have to tell us what kind of monies and how to get that transferred to you.
Yeah,
But-
federal, Asset forfeiture funds can be used for any law enforcement purpose, and so there's no problem with using it to.
Because my thinking is this vehicle is not going to get a lot of use. So the way this equity lease program has been working is that every approximately 3 to 5 years and/or 50, 70,000 miles, there's a new vehicle that replaces it because there's so much equity and everything's always under warranty. And I do know that we have in the past leased police vehicles and then paid for the upfit, so I just want you to be sure. I'm just saying.
If that works, I mean, I think that's actually a better option, to be honest with you.
That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman.
I'll do a little more
You can
research
explore it,
on
yeah.
that, because we're not in a rush for this vehicle. If you allow, I'll do some more research and I'll get back to you. Maybe a lower cost for us all
We can
around.
still pass the budgetary amendment.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great.
That's a good
Anybody,
idea.
That's a good idea.
It's a good idea, pass the baton, yeah, so you get the choice.
You're okay with
Yes, sir,
giving
that'd be
you
great.
one?
No, yeah, I'll take the extra money and I'll return what I don't need.
All right, well, I'm going to make a motion to approve the budgetary amendment. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so you got that. Item number 5 is the approval for a fund transfer. It's for corrections, 6 air protection systems for the officers.
So this is in case of a fire, the officers will don these hoods, they'll give them oxygen to get the inmates out of the building. It's something I think we needed to get some of the accreditation through the state.
Is this new technology, or is this something?
That's a good question. Jimmy, do you know, do we have?
Jimmy didn't say whether or not.
No, I don't know if I don't think we've had these. I think this is something, I don't know how new the technology is, or it's just new
We
to
just
us.
never had, we never had.
Never had it before.
Any questions of the sheriff from the committee? From the legislature? Yes.
So this is 6 smoke evacuation hoods for the jail. So would you escort 6 inmates out?
At
and
a
then
time.
And then a deputy has to come back in
Make
and
multiple
6
trips,
more?
correct.
And-
Because I think there's only 6 usually working, so that's the reason for the 6. So we'd only be able to secure 6 at a time, and we'd have to bring them out in an orderly
Oh, wow.
fashion. Yeah, it would not be a great situation. Yeah,
Better be on good behavior so you prioritize.
yeah. You want to be nice to the guard that day.
The first one. Any other questions? Any member of the public wishing to speak? I apologize, I didn't offer that for the first couple of agenda items. I'll make a motion to approve the fund transfer. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6 is the approval of a fund transfer for the sheriff's office. It's corrections. These are bulletproof vests. How many do we have here?
Correct. So this is for 4 new, and I think we did not order enough to begin with. We hired 4 additional people this year, so this is 4 vests for them. Half the money for this will be paid for through the bulletproof vest grant.
Questions of the committee? With the legislature, any questions, comments?
What's the lifespan of the bulletproof vest?
5 years, I believe.
5 years?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Whether you use it or not.
Yeah, hopefully unused.
Well, hopefully you don't.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's a little bulletproof vest humor. Any member of the public wishing to speak? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve this fund transfer. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 7. It's also an approval for a fund transfer. It's also the corrections office and the sheriff's department. It's a safety restraint chair in the amount of $4,554.
Yes, sir, we
I think I've seen these before.
Yeah, we have an existing, it's out of service because it's so old, it cannot be used, and I think a lot of the padding is missing and stuff like that. For someone who's acting out, we could restrain him in a chair, so keep him medically safe, and give him a place to relax the situation. So they have one now, there's a lot of places where someone can get hurt on it, so this is just a new replacement for that device.
If the old one is available, we wouldn't mind having.
Yeah, I think it's perfect, yeah.
During one of our meetings.
I was at some of these meetings, sir, so yeah.
On one of my tours, they sat me in it, so I know what chair it is.
Does it come with a lecture mask as well?
Any questions of the committee, the legislature?
It's for one chair?
Yes, sir, one chair.
Anybody from the public? I'll make a motion to approve the fund transfer. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 8 is an FYI. It's a fund transfer for emergency services. You are relieved.
Yes, sir.
Emergency services, third and fourth quarter chargebacks.
Sir.
Ralph, I see you out there.
Yeah, so what that was is we were able to work with Westchester County. They had a surplus vehicle that we were able to get from them for $1. So that just happened to be the age of it and the changes we just needed to make. It just put us over what we normally budgeted for, because that was an expense that we weren't expecting because the deal just happened to come up. So
What kind of
so we replaced the fire investigation team truck. So it's basically it's an F-550 with like a big ambulance box that has all the fire investigation team tools and storage in the back. So unfortunately for us, when they Westchester delivered it to us, they had taken all of their stuff out, but they didn't necessarily do it in a friendly, easy manner. So we just had to repair some of the things that they had taken out, and then we upgraded what we needed to make it for our use.
But we still end up with a
absolutely.
vehicle for
yes.
$8,842 plus $1.
Yeah, and that's not, I mean, so there's some, like one of our UTVs had a new clutch, so it's not just that.
Oh,
vehicle.
okay, so it's...
Yeah, so it's a few things, so it actually worked out. So yeah, I mean, it's probably, if we were to buy it new, it'd probably be
Okay.
over $200,000 to buy the
Does anybody
vehicle.
have any questions or comments? Any member of the public? Okay, that's an FYI, so we'll move on to item number 9, which is also an FYI. It's a fund transfer for probation for ammunition. I know I don't see anybody. Commissioner Carlin, do you have any idea what this is about?
No, I don't.
Get up there. They say range supplies, so I'm assuming it's
It's
practice
$5,000 in ammunition for practice.
I think they have to take a training and test.
I hope so. So, it's an FYI, it's for $5,000 for ammunition for probation. Item number 10 is an FYI, it's the third quarter coroner cases, please review that. Is
Chairman,
it-
I have a comment about,
Sure.
if I may, it's not a confidential report, so I'd like to make a comment about it. Sorry I was late.
The coroner?
The coroner's
Yep,
report.
okay.
Sorry I was late, I was listening on my way here. And I just, it was an interesting conversation about the status of the program. And when you look at the coroner's report, we have 4 suicides this year. So, I mean, I think that is a lot to be considered in regard to what this program means to Putnam County. And read the news. I just talked to a legislator in Rockland County. They just had a recent murder-suicide that, leading up to it, there were a lot of incidents with police coming to the house and dealing with the situation, and maybe something else could have been done with that situation involving, CRT team and the sheriff's department. I had an experience, I just lost a brother to suicide involving, what could have probably been prevented had the resources been there to respond in time and properly, and they were not. So I just wanted to say how critical these programs are to Putnam County. I guess I didn't understand how the program actually works, and I know you've already talked about it, but I thought Road Patrol responds. My experience, personal experience, is Road Patrol responds to these incidents and would call the team to respond with it. I thought, Road Patrol was already on for that. So whether we have to hire, more Road Patrol, which it's been my view that we have needed that, because I believe several years ago we went down 1 Road Patrol, so we were lacking in that as well. So we may need to really take a look at how we're staffing our sheriff's department, and maybe not so management heavy and maybe more boots on the ground.
Okay. Does anybody have any other business?
Comment in the back.
You have a comment? Yeah.
If public comments allowed, I wanted to talk on item number 10.
Sure.
Well, my name's here from the other end, so I don't have to fill it out again.
Thank you, Bray Harris, Carl Hamlet. Legislator Montgomery kind of stole my thunder on the coroner's
Sorry.
report there. No, you did well. But beyond the tragic number of suicides, there's also, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the numbers, countless attempts of attempted suicides in this county. And I've heard nonstop, especially in the last couple of weeks, about the overwhelming mental health crisis that we have, not just in this county, but in this country. And it's real, it's a real thing. We also made mention of how the CRT program also involves individuals with disabilities, special needs, and diagnosed mental health disorders. And that's something that I've had an active part in as a professional, working with local law enforcement in Westchester County, the Pound Ridge Police Department, and also in Fairfield County, Connecticut, and the New Canaan Police Department, in helping law enforcement identify some of these crises. So what I'm hoping is that if we're going to talk at length and very publicly about the obvious mental health crisis we have in this county, we have to then make it a priority across the board. And what I'm hoping to hear in the future is that is going to be the way it works across all the branches of government, whether that be this legislature, whether that be the county executive, whether that be the sheriff, whether that be county law, whatever it is, that everyone's working collaboratively. And what I've heard every representative of those departments say is a overwhelming mental health crisis. I saw a press conference on the bike trail where a congressman was there, elected officials were there, candidates were there, talking about the overwhelming mental health crisis. So what I'm hoping is that is something that is made a priority in the coming months, especially looking at the numbers. 5 suicides, countless attempted suicides, especially in our young people here in Putnam County. So if we agree it's a crisis and the numbers bear that out, then I just want to make sure that everyone's on board working together collaboratively. Because if it's a crisis, then it needs to be treated like a crisis. And I'm not accusing anyone of not treating it that way, and I appreciate the conversation and dialogue that's gone on tonight. I just want to throw my overwhelming support of moving that discussion and dialogue forward, and I appreciate everybody involved, the Sheriff's Department included, in taking part in that discussion to find a way to make it work. So thank you all, appreciate that.
Yes.
I just have to ask, and again, apologies that I was late. I need to understand if this program is still going to be operating moving forward, and it's because I know we just got a letter today in our mailboxes. Our partner from the Sheriff's Department in this has left the Sheriff's Department. You know, the personnel who is heading up this program with the Social Service Department has left.
The sheriff is going to review, and he will report back to us in the future.
Will there be a lapse in the program is my question, I guess.
I don't
No.
believe
Shouldn't
so.
be. I don't believe.
We have the personnel to,
So there's going to be some changes in the executive staff at the sheriff's office, which is normal with any executive change. But I believe the CRT deputy has been at work, the mental health employee's been at work, and my expectation is they're doing their job like they would every day.
okay, thank you. That's a relief.
I think we do have to have, I'm sorry, Sharon, we will be having conversations about the leadership of that team within the sheriff's office, and that's something that Sheriff Hess and I will have to talk about.
Great.
All right. Any other business? I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for the candy. I got here in time.
Welcome to the Personnel Committee meeting of the Putnam County Legislature. Tonight is November 12, 2025. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislator Elder, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of
America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Legislator Advisio, Legislator Gouldman, Chairman Yonke.
Present, and just for the record, I've invited Legislator Birmingham to join us tonight. Item number 3 on the agenda is the approval of a fund transfer for the Department of Social Services. It's overtime through the year end due to the increased caseloads. Welcome.
Good evening. So we are requesting a budget transfer to increase the overtime for our services workers, which include adult protective, child protective, and child welfare. There's been an increase in cases. Just the other night, we had about 5 workers working overtime on a Monday night, just trying to streamline cases. So we would be taking this from a vacant caseworker position for the budget transfer. And with the holidays coming, there's going to be an uptick in cases and response.
Any questions from the committee? Legislator Montgomery.
Have we advertised for this position, and how close are we to filling this position for the vacant caseworker?
It has been advertised, it's on Indeed, it's on all the county websites, personnel. It was just actually listed last week.
Okay. And
So
you'll be
we're in the
interviewing?
process of interviewing.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Any member of the public? All right, I'm going to make a motion to approve the fund transfer. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4, thank you. Item number 4 is the overview, county appointed legal defense of indigents. Commissioner Carlin, I think I sent you an email just requesting just a review of where we're at here.
Well,
I think it came up during the budget process and there was a question.
Yep, as you know, the county is mandated to provide an assigned counsel program pursuant to the Herring state settlement regarding the defense of indigent legal persons. So right now, we're at the point where the county attorney's office, my office, and the county execs have been talking to the state. The state is going to develop, the state being the state ILSF department, is going to be developing an assigned counsel plan for Putnam to look at. It's not just one size fits all because we're a unique county, and some counties have public defender's offices, some have legal aid, depends on how much your caseload is, what your caseload is. So they're going to work on the initial program, and then we're going to come up with something and come to you to, 1, adopt the plan, and 2, do the budgetary amendment. There are state settlement funds amounting to about $374,000 a year for this purpose. And that's where we stand. We're waiting on New York State.
Any questions?
Just a quick question. Bill, is this the same program or is it different from 18B?
It's sort of the same. It's might have to do with the assigning of the 18B counsels, but you still will have 18B lawyers. And just so you know, I'll be coming again to audit because those 18B vouchers, they're increasing. They're coming in, and Michelle, I think, was down to, what, 75,000? Somewhere around that. So I'll be coming to audit with a budgetary amendment similar to the one I came to with you a month or 2 ago.
And are those, if I might, are those rates scheduled by the state, or is that?
No, they're scheduled by the state, and they went up to $158 an hour from the $40 and $75 an hour a couple of years ago, but they hadn't been raised in many years. So that's also a factor in the increasing costs. We do get partial reimbursement. It's nowhere near what we pay out.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Any member of the public? Anything? I don't want to cheat you.
No, that was it.
All right, thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Item number 5 is a discussion. Public information officer stipends. I was asked to ask our personnel director, Mr. Eldridge, for for a discussion on this.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Paul.
welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe you can let us know
Yeah.
where we're at.
Well, I reviewed this, and, I think it's something that we should do. I would recommend its approval. There are 3 individuals involved, and there's a stipend for each. It's supported by the Deputy Commissioner of the Bureau, and we think we should move ahead with it. There were monies set aside in the sub-contingency account for this, but
For 2025.
for 2025, yes.
And it was only three positions?
Three
If I remember,
individuals.
One was in the health department, one was in the county executive's office, and one was in
And one in the
the
Sheriff's Department, that's correct.
Okay. Any questions of the committee?
Just a quick question, and I apologize, I know this was talked about last year before I came onto the board as well. These are for public emergencies to get
Yes.
word out there. Do we have a public information or a public information officer already in the county exec's office? And would this be supplemental to that? I'm probably using the wrong title name.
There is a communications person in the office, yes, and that is one of the 3 that would be involved with this. One from the Sheriff's Office and one from the Health Department.
The one in the county exec's office, is that job description currently include these tasks, or is this above and beyond? And I'm fine if it is, obviously, if we need them to come out at 2 o'clock in the morning for
Exactly.
something, that's not covered, I would get
Correct.
that. So this would be sort of,
Anytime there's an
Okay.
emergency, they have to be on call and
Okay.
available.
so that's
And
above
come
and
in.
beyond the regular.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay, thank you.
In the other departments, in the health department and the sheriff's department, do we have anybody with a title of communications?
No, there's some duties for the person in the Health Department, and I'm sure probably in the Sheriff's Department as well, to do some, public information. But this is specific to the Bureau of Emergency Services for events and so forth that we have.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the committee?
Second, Chairman. I think it's a good idea because, the public wants information yesterday of what happened today. And if you wait an hour or 2 hours, it's really a problem. That's why newspapers are disappearing and that type of thing. So we should be funding these 3 positions. Because if something happened like yesterday with the Sheriff's Department, just for an example, social media blew up. And everyone wanted to know what was going on. So we really need to do something like this.
Yeah, you want to have accurate information coming from an appropriate source.
And if it's not from one person, one department, it comes from 20 different people, it's going to be the telephone game that we all played as a kid. We told one person, by the time we went to 10 people, the story was totally different, so, yes.
I will say, recently, I'm not big on social media, but I have seen a really great job by the sheriff's office of doing daily updates, and in some ways it's good, some ways not so good, knowing what's going on around town and around the county, but I really do applaud you. The information's out there, for better or for worse. Any members of the legislative stage?
So this was already in the budget last year,
Yes.
and we just placed it in sub-contingency because we had some questions. And one of the questions was, and I'm in favor of releasing these funds. Do we release the funds, or is the county executive supposed to release these funds from
Well, the
sub-contingency?
legislature has to vote to release it from sub-contingency.
Okay, and I think one of the questions, what I was getting to, is it was the health department because they're a member of a union?
Yes.
And I think that was the question, so I don't know that we've answered that question. I mean, I'm fully supportive of her getting this, but how does that work with the union contract? Is it okay?
It's okay.
Is it permitted?
What we're actually doing there is she's going to track her time and keep it, so that it's within overtime provisions that would be in the contract. And if there's anything over that, then obviously we would take a look at it. But it's over and above what she's doing now. And in fairness, they have to be ready to react and come in at any time. So it's not specifically on call, but you have to be available. reachable.
I see our auditor has her hand up.
Yes, if you want the funds to be released, I believe the Commissioner of Finance has to do a transfer to take the funds out of sub-contingency.
Yes, it's just on for discussion for tonight.
He purposely left so that I didn't get that question.
He's just down the hallway, he didn't really leave.
Probably.
So,
Yes.
just following up on that, so given that the Commissioner has to make the transfer, then how soon will these funds be released?
I think it's as soon as, well, there has to be a resolution, right?
Right, a
Probably-
transfer would have to be prepared, but it's only in the budget until the end of the year, because it's a 25.
So what's
So-
the process on
So if
completing
you
this?
want,
Come before audit?
if you wanted to go before audit, Bill could do a transfer. And,
You could write a memo tomorrow asking
To release the funds,
For,
prepare
for a
a
fund
resolution,
transfer.
and then we'll vote on it at audit, so the funds can be released next week.
With the vote?
At the full, it would go.
At
to
the full, at the full.
In December.
That'd be the December full.
You communicate that with Bill?
Right.
I have a quick question. I know you were asking about the position in the county executive's office and the job description. Do we have a job description for the personnel, public information officers? Is there a?
Communications Director.
Yeah,
Well-
not one specifically for this, but we can, now that.
But that's a job description for the communications director. Is there a job description for these public information officers? And I just have to be honest here. My experience with as administrations change and as department heads change and as politics are involved, there was a time where I would get really important critical emergency information directly from the sheriff's department on things that were happening in my district. That stopped, and vice versa, So I'm just saying, can we have some kind of task, job description? One of the responsibilities is to communicate with, your district rep on what's happening.
I think we could probably work on something.
And also, there was it used to be there was open communication, and we worked really well at helping our communities. And that, for whatever reason, doesn't always seem to happen, and maybe we need to make it happen by putting it in writing.
And I think actually what's going to happen is the three folks that have been designated are going to be getting together and creating some policies and procedures, and that certainly would be one thing that could be included. And we could do a spec if necessary.
Okay.
Maybe good to look at one online to see it.
Any other questions? Anybody from the public? Okay, and I'll move on to item number 6, which is the approval of the employee health insurance contribution. The review committee, we have a memorandum of agreement. Apparently, there were agreements with 4 unions.
That's correct.
Maybe you want to give us just an overview of what's occurred, how it occurred, what's occurred, and how we got here today.
Well, as we've talked about over the last, I don't know how long, about recruitment and retention. One of the areas that has been brought up numerous times, particularly by Legislator Elner, but others, is that this has been an issue for us. The health insurance contribution, particularly for the new people coming in who are getting the lowest salary, has been the highest. And I've not found any place where it was higher than what we have. New employees, at least for CSEA, would come in, it would be a 30% contribution rate on the health insurance. And with a family plan costing over $40,000, that's a lot of money, it's $1,000 a month. So we realized that we needed to do something there, and so the county exec had set up a committee, a review committee. And that review committee of members of the public reviewed it, and Bill Carlin was a member of the public at that point. And several others, I think it was 5 or 6, and they were here, I think, in the September meeting, and they supported a reduction on that highest amount from the 30, 25 in the PBA agreement, 30 in the PCSEA agreement, and 25 in the Puma agreement, that the highest level would be 17% as opposed to the 25 or 30%. I think that is going to be significant in terms of our recruitment, and it will also be significant in terms of retention. The additional is that they will continue to take or be charged the lowering amounts over time, over service time. So, we think this is, it's been very favorably received, obviously, by the unions, and we think it's going to have a great impact on not only recruitment, but also very much so on retention. And
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this for years. One example was the district attorney was trying to recruit attorneys to work in his office. And while the salary might have just barely been competitive, once the candidate calculated the impact of their health insurance payment subtracted from the salary that was offered, they would go somewhere else. And we lost candidates, we lost employees.
Absolutely.
So finally, there was a panel put together probably in June of 2024, about that time.
I think you're right.
And we finally got a result. Respectfully, I've said this over and over again, this is going to be the last time I get to say it, but I think that if you and I had sat in a room with Bill Carlin and someone from the administration, we could have knocked this or something, all due respect to everybody that was on the committee, and I thank them for their volunteerism and the hard work they put in, we could have knocked this out in a couple hours. This is a no-brainer. We need to do this. So I'm glad we're finally here, and any questions or comments of the committee?
Yeah, just a quick question and a friendly amendment, I think. But before I do that, and I know we've talked about it before, if I could ask our counsel something. The whole resolution is marked confidential, and I understand that because it has the percentage in there that we now know is what was said earlier.
17%.
Okay. And my point is that if you could just give us a brief primer on, the only people who don't know about this, who haven't seen this resolution yet, is the public. The unions that we're going to be most likely approving at a committee tonight anyway, know about that percentage. We know about that percentage. I'm just a little upset the public right now doesn't know, and we could have redacted it, and that's on us.
Yeah, that's what I had thought we were doing, the
Okay.
last discussion we had on it was just to redact that.
Yeah.
And then it would be unredacted when it
All right.
passed. I wasn't asked again.
No, you weren't. I know. And I'm not pointing the finger. Yeah, it's on us.
It's okay, everyone points the finger.
Yeah. But what I'd like to do, the reason I asked is I want to make an amendment to a provision that doesn't affect the 17%.
Yes, that's fine.
I just said it, but at that point, it's been said before. If you guys
Well
take a look
kept secret.
Yeah, it's super secret. If you take a look at the last penultimate paragraph, it says, "Be it further resolved that the highest employee insurance contribution rate of 17% also applies to management confidential employees." And Paul and I just spoke before this meeting tonight. We do have employees that have been employed prior to 2006. I'm one of them, you're one of them. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Did you say 76?
76, yeah. So right now, they pay lower than 17%.
Correct.
Because of that, as you explained,
That provision is
depreciation down over
correct.
time. So I'd like to make well, this hasn't been moved yet, so there's nothing to, if you want to move the resolution, then I'll move an amendment to it. Just in other words, to say that the highest health insurance contribution of management confidential shall not exceed 17%, just so we don't penalize people who've been here before 2006. And again, I'm in that pool too. I want to be upfront about that, just so it's not seen as self-serving. But I know other department heads are in that.
Yeah, there's lots of people.
A lot of people are. So that's the only reason.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to ever read that this is going to raise your
People at 10 or
by 7% or whatever the percentage is now.
10, yeah, the
Yeah,
lowest is 10.
so that's my only suggestion, to change that second to last paragraph, just to say not to exceed, so that somebody who's been here before 2006 doesn't get a 7% increase on their.
Why don't we, if it's all right with you,
Of course,
why don't
I
we
just want to
do
throw it out
a
there.
discussion?
Yeah, perfect.
And then I'll let you make the motion with an amendment in it.
Sure, that's fine.
Legislator Allen.
Because this chairman says it's all confidential and there's some figures, if I want to make a comment on the figures, do we need to go into executive session?
as council?
I mean, theoretically, yes, but we also just discussed the figure out loud, so I mean, to some extent.
Different figure.
Oh, different.
In that resolution?
Not in the resolution, in the backup. It says attached backup is confidential.
Yeah, we should probably go into executive
I'll
session.
make a motion to go into executive session for the second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Session, do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. No action was taken in the executive session.
No, I'm looking at that, sorry.
So no action was taken. We're still on item number 6, which is the employee health insurance contribution. Does anybody, we're on to questions of Mr. Eldridge. Any questions from the legislature? Yes.
Thank you. I think it's a good thing. We're doing the right thing by our employees by doing this. And I'm hopefully glad that it passes tonight and moves on.
I hope so too.
Any other members of the legislature wishing to comment? Anyone from the public? Okay, I also agree that this is something that's a long time coming. We have worked hard. I'm actually happy to get this done before I leave the legislature. It seems like we started when they started with the legislature 9 years ago, but I'm going to make a motion to approve, or I'm going to let Legislator Birmingham make a motion with an amendment on what we have in front of us.
All right, we've got it in front of us. I'll make a motion to move what we have in front of us and amend the second to last paragraph. Be it further resolved that the highest, it currently reads, and I'll keep the percentage out this time, be it further resolved that the highest employee health insurance contribution rate of X also applies to management confidential employees. That's how it currently reads. Like I said earlier, we have pre-2006 employees that are paying less than that, management employees that are paying less than that. So we don't want this to inadvertently bump their insurance. That's not the purpose of this, to increase anybody's insurance. So I'll make a motion to move this with the following amendment, be it in that second last paragraph shall read, be it further resolved that the highest health insurance contribution rate shall not exceed that percentage that's in our, so essentially we're going to add highest contribution rate instead of that percentage, shall read highest contribution rate shall not exceed
X.
that X. As it would apply, just tell me when I need to slow down, Beth.
No, you're good.
Okay, as it would apply to management confidential employees. Paul, is that good?
I think it doesn't.
Okay.
Do you have to single out management confidential?
Well, we do because if you take a look at our employee handbook, there's a whole schedule there of separate. Now, so I'll move it as there's.
I'm going to second that. Discussion.
If I could, Paul, even before this change was made, does this in any way change our employee handbook as far as, I guess not, because in the employee handbook, it just says whatever the contracts are, and we have those.
Right, but obviously management confidential doesn't have a contract, so we would make an adjustment in the handbook.
Okay.
Anything that, any resolution would,
Okay.
that's passed here as policy would change in our handbook.
And you take, we
automatically
don't
do that.
adopt the handbook.
No, we automatically do that.
So,
So it's been moved, seconded, discussion. All right, I'll, roll call vote.
Legislator Birmingham.
yes.
Legislator Gouldman.
Yes.
Chairman Yaki.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, item number 7 is the approval of a local law establishing the 2026 salaries of certain appointed officers serving for fixed terms. This is something that we do routinely, annually.
Every year, yeah.
After we pass our budget, we fix the terms for
Salaries.
appointed officers. It's their salaries. Anything you need to add to what I just said?
Yeah, just it's required by local law. If anybody's in their term, any raise has to be passed by local law.
Any questions or comments from the committee? From the legislature? From the public? I will make a motion to approve that local law. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 8, it's kind of along the same lines, but it's the approval of a local law establishing the 2026 salaries of certain elected officials. First one was appointed. These are elected officials serving for fixed terms. This is also something that we do routinely on an annual basis after we've established the budget. Discussion from the committee. Discussion from the legislature.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did have a committee question. Paul, I was asked this many years ago because the number of legislators here are not 9. Can you tell us why?
Yes, the ones that are re-elected or elected are not in their term, so they start a new terms and they're not subject to it. It's only for those that are in their term.
Okay. I got a constituent, believe it or not, somebody read the legals and they asked me that. There's 9 legislators, why did only 6 of them?
paid.
And that's the reason.
Yep, that's the reason.
Thank you. I'm sorry to delay.
No problem, okay. You don't have to ask questions. Legislator Elner.
If I may, so legislators who have been newly elected do not get this increase.
They get the increase. You don't have to, they don't have to be included on the local law.
That's all. Thank you.
Any members of the public? With that, I'll make a motion to approve the local law. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item number 9 is the approval of the financial disclosure list for the year 2026. Another routine resolution or approval. It's something that, it's every title within the county. I'm taking your thunder.
No, you can steal my thunder.
These are all the titles within the county. These are all the titles within the county that are subject to financial disclosure.
Correct.
And we are just approving the titles that need to be
Yes,
disclosed.
we always go through a review of it. As an example, we had Commissioner of Health. You won't find that here anymore because we have a public health director, so that you'll see the public health director, and you'll see medical consultant on here because that wasn't on before. So it's those kinds of changes. We eliminate a position or a title or whatever, or we create something new, we add that. So we're always adding and deleting, and we do it, and it is recommended to be available for the first meeting in December, which is the first full legislative meeting. That's why it's on November.
Refresh my memory, the A or P, what?
That's advisory or policy. So there's many of the boards, volunteer boards in the county that are advisory only, have no power, if you will, or authority to set policy. So that's why you have A and P.
And there are a lot of volunteers on here that they have to provide their financial disclosure.
They do, but for the advisory members, it's a much shortened version. And years ago, we went through that, and I actually, after one of the former legislators felt that advisory boards should submit it, and you might be able to guess who that was. It was not received particularly well, so I took the responsibility as a member of the Board of Ethics to go around to all the advisory boards, explain how it was a much shortened version, and it settled in. I think we had one resignation of someone on an advisory board that had not had to file it before, that didn't want to, but everybody else complied.
Any questions or comments? Yes.
Just a quick question. You mentioned those 2 changes, Commissioner of Health to Director of Public Health, and then the medical consultant. Any other additions or deletions?
There probably are, and I was afraid you would ask me because
sorry.
they're not highlighted,
Okay,
but that popped out to me as the ones. So there's a few others.
Full, maybe.
I can do that, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Any other questions of the legislature? Any members of the public? Okay, I am going to make a motion to approve this list. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's item number 9. Item number 10 is the approval of a budgetary amendment for emergency services, dispatcher overtime. Ralph, you have an interim title for now? What's your?
Acting commissioner? Acting
commissioner. Thank you.
He's a good actor.
Didn't know that you were up for an Oscar this year, Rob.
Just call him Oscar.
Wait until the end of the year before you decide.
All right, act like a commissioner and tell us what's going on.
So this is, yeah. So we are short-staffed, a lot with the sheriff's department, and for all the reasons that we've discussed, and I think we've made some. So thankfully, what you voted on will help. And as Mr. Eldridge will tell you, we added what we call a trainee position to our dispatch center. So if we have someone that doesn't meet some of the standards that makes it harder for us to recruit, we could hire them at a trainee position. And what that had done is we had, I think, 4 people on a civil service list, and we had, I don't know, maybe 15 applications. Now I think we're unfortunately at about almost 80 applicants now for the same positions. We had some people leave for greener pastures, and the nice thing about those is, those that left, 3 came back, and we're trying to recruit the 4th one back. So what that does is increases or decreases exponentially the amount of time to get them trained. So like, we go from training, it could take anywhere from 6 months to a year to be fully ready to go. And with the people that have left and had come back, we feel they're back to full staffing within, 3 months at the most, some even less. So we are currently we're back down to only 4 short. And we have hopefully one of the people recruiting back, which will get us down to 3. And we currently have one that is in training now, so before the end of the year. So hopefully this will decrease over the year. We are about average what we were last year, and I think almost the year before. So it's just a minimum staffing dilemma that we all run into.
Prospects are bright that,
absolutely.
We're going to
Absolutely.
fill those spots.
Yes, sir. I feel good about it.
Any questions of the committee? Members of the legislature? Anyone from the public? I'll make a motion to approve the budgetary amendment for emergency services. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you.
Thanks, Ralph.
Item number 11 is an FYI. It's your incident report. Please review it. And item number 12 is an FYI. It's your accident report. Please review it. We don't have any other business, so I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye.